Yeah, guys, welcome Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O. What's going on, Big O?
Hey, I'm happy, excited, Big Ted. What a great win. Every win's a great win, but when you beat the guys above you in the top of your division, that is so sweet, especially against them Ratbird Ravens.
The Steelers did it. They went out and did it in a big way. We're going to touch base on a lot of that during this show. It's going to be a long show because we got a lot to talk about, especially the Steelers big one. That was huge. And all the fans out there who doubted the Steelers, they went out and they did it. You know what? I had a little doubt myself, but Charlie Bass stepped up and he was the man and he did it.
How can you not have any doubt? When you play the Cleveland Browns, you throw 3 interceptions, 5 fumbles, and then you're going away into Raven territory. You got to have your doubts. Everybody, I don't care. You could say you're a true fan. You bleed black and gold. You have tattoos all over your body. Going into that game, you have to be a little weary because you know how tough a battle that's going to be.
Oh, exactly. Hey, you know what? The Steelers played the Ravens Sunday, but you know what? The Steelers got the Chargers coming up this week, and they're looking at Big Ben to be the man to step up this week. Unbelievably. What do you think about that?
Yeah, word on the street, Big Tiz. Ben had a great practice today, according to Mike Tomlin, head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had a great practice yesterday, too, so we're looking at Ben. At least we know he's suiting up for Sunday's game, but looks like he's going to be starting.
I know, that's the unbelievable part right there, and I know a lot of you fans out there are probably saying the same thing, that Big Ben starting. I mean, I don't know what the rush is to get this guy back in there, but I guess the Steelers are feeling, you know what, half a Ben is better than no Ben, but you know what, we got to let Charlie Bass try to man the ship like he has been. At least, that the short game for him seems to be working at the moment, so you have to stick what you can so we can use Ben for that long haul. But, we'll talk about that a lot later on in this show. But you know what, let's talk about the special teams. Beautiful.
Swish him. He only missed 1 field goal this year, and we all know what that was. That was in Tennessee. It was a 54 or 56-yard field goal into the win. You got to try and do what you got to do to win a ball game.
Right.
But you take that off the record books, you know what? He's 100%. I mean, even in Pittsburgh, in that wide open end zone with the scoreboard where the wind comes, I'm telling you, he's dead on. If I had a field goal kicker, he's the guy that I want on my team.
Swishing is definitely came up big in a lot of games for the Steelers, and he's been true to the form and short yardage kicks, and that's what we needed, and he's doing it for us right now. So especially the special teams didn't give up a touchdown, which they gave up in the last game against the Ravens, which cost us dearly.
True that. We didn't have a run back for a kickoff or a punt return, but like I say every week, do you remember a holding penalty or a block in the back penalty on any of those? No.
Exactly.
No, it only comes when we score a touchdown. We need to find out what's going on with that.
One other thing that was big this week that we wanted to talk about was the handshake exchange at the end of the game between Tomlin and Harbaugh.
Come on, give me a break.
A lot of people were making a big news about this because I guess at the fact that Tomlin his attention when he was running off the field was caught by one of the other players or someone else, and it was kind of guided that way. But then he shook hands with Harbaugh, but Harbaugh, I guess, didn't like the way it was going for a moment, so he grabbed him and pulled him in close. And great game, and Tomlin, reciprocated back. He said, good game or whatever. But, as the media always, they're trying to make a little bit more of it than what it is. I guess maybe to keep the rivalry going for maybe a playoff game. I don't know.
Well, you don't need, stuff like that to get the rivalry going. It's always going to be there. It always has been. I mean, if you look at the stats per game when we play the Ravens, when the Ravens play us, it's almost identical. You could put the logos on either side on the board right there, and you won't even know what team it was. But I'm thinking this is stemming from his brother in San Francisco when he had that altercation with the head coach from the Detroit Lions after the game.
I remember that.
That wasn't pretty. You know what I mean? But nothing like that in Pittsburgh. Like you said, Tomlin was distracted. He's running off. He wanted to do a little high five, hold his hand, touch something. But I guess Harbaugh wanted a manly handshake. Manly, like a bunch of cavemen after they just killed a dinosaur or something. You want to make sure that, I know you did a good job and want you to, I don't know.
Like I said, they had something to hold on to. I guess they can hold on whatever they want to hold on to. But thank God we didn't. Anyway, you know what? Let's talk about some other things actually as well. Big O, a lot of things you were discussing when we were talking in private was you were thinking about, is it too early to talk about the draft?
Well, Big Tiz, it's never too early to talk about the draft. And that's coming up pretty soon in a couple months, folks. Believe it or not, it is December. Next month, January, Super Bowl February,
Yep.
And what comes after that? We have to start looking ahead. And there's a couple guys that I have in mind, my little wish list. Now, we talk about this on a daily basis. Should we go for a quarterback? Should we? We have to, but our debate is what round should we go for one. I'm thinking we should get one early in the first couple rounds, at least. And why I say that is because we all know where our backups are and where they're going. They're almost as old as us, Big Tiz, and not saying that we're that old, but you don't see us on a football field.
Exactly.
There's this one kid, Zach Zyrist, out of Miami of Ohio. Who went there? We all know Ben Roethlisberger went there. That's his college, his alma mater. And guess what? This kid has broken all of Ben Roethlisberger's records at that college. He's ready to get out of there. He's ready to spread his wings. And it's just the safety for LSU, Reed, great kid, fast. This is what we need. Will he be around by the time we get there? I don't know.
Right.
But we have to, in the middle we have to shore up the tackles and the guards, and then go for a defensive end and a linebacker.
Well,
Easy.
My thought on that really, I think it's kind of too early to get a feel of the going after a quarterback right now because Ben is still young, and the fact that I would like to test the free agent market a little bit more. But that is one thing to look at, and actually the fact I like the idea of the safety.
Yeah.
Because with the health and the declining of health of Palomalo, which I'm even scared that he might not even finish the season. To be honest, I mean I look at every tackle he does, and I'm like, okay, is this the one that's going to put him out again? Blah blah blah. And that's the kind of type of things that's kind of scaring me at the moment with the Steelers and with Palomalo.
Now, if we take baby steps,
right,
with Palomalo, because we need him every game.
Right.
Let's call it like it is.
Right.
We need all these star players every game. And let's take a little baby steps here. Baby steps. And because we're going to need him for the big game.
Right.
Doesn't he have pretty hair? Beautiful hair.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Remember when you had hair like that, Tiz?
Yeah. It was a long time.
Back in the day? Yeah, with your Thriller jacket. Remember those days? I won't put that picture up, Tiz, of you in high school. When all the ladies going nuts. But you know what? The college's games the bowl games are coming.
Right.
And we talked about this earlier today, Tiz. I counted them 35 bowl games.
Ooh, God.
35 bowl games. And I picked my top 10 of the strangest bowl names that you can possibly think of. And there are more. So if you've heard any bowl games that, I haven't mentioned in my top 10 list, feel free to chime in, and I'm going to start with number 10 going on down. Folks, these are true names. I'm not making this stuff up. This is how it goes. Number 10 on the list, the famous Idaho Potato Bowl. And Toledo will be playing Utah State in that game, Big Tiz.
Wow.
Number 9, the Kraft Fight Hunger Bowl. Now, that's pretty cool. But really, dude, Kraft, do you really need more money that you have to name a bowl after yourself? And that's Navy versus Arizona State, which I think is going to be a highly entertaining game. Number 8, the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl.
Wow. Can you say that name again, please?
The Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl. And that will be NC State versus Vanderbilt.
Wow.
Now, I'd like to see this halftime show, GoDaddy.com Bowl. I'm there. This one I don't understand. The Heart of Dallas Bowl. Can you think of any more names crazier than that?
Purdue and Oklahoma State. Wow.
That's it. I like the next bowl because I'm a big eater, as you can see. The Buffalo Wild Wings Bowl. Now in that game, are they gonna have the sprinkler set up in the field where they come up when the guys are playing on the commercial?
Hey, that'd be interesting.
You know what I'm talking about. And that's TCU versus Michigan State. That's gonna be a good game. All right, folks. Belk. The Belk Bowl.
Wow.
Belk. It sounds like a noise you make after a good dinner. All right, let's see. And that's going to be Cincy versus Duke. I'd rather see basketball, Cincy versus Duke. Okay, the Gildan, New Mexico Bowl.
Wow. Didn't Gildan used to play for the Steelers a long time ago?
Jason Gildan, he did. That's Nevada versus Arizona. Okay, we're getting close to the number one. Number two, the Advocare V100 Independence Bowl. Who's got their hand in the cookie jar in that one?
Wow.
And that's Ohio versus UL Monroe. Isn't it high school?
That's what I thought.
Oh, boy. And my number one pick, folks, I do not make this up, the Beef O'Brady Bowl.
Wow.
The Beef O'Brady Bowl, Big Tiz. And that's Central Florida versus Ball State. Another basketball game I would like to see. Football, I don't know how they would do it in football, but you know what? And also, we got coming up this Saturday, Big Tiz. So, folks, write this down. 8 o'clock, ESPN, the Heisman Trophy will be awarded. And unfortunately, Big Tiz was not selected this year as a candidate.
Maybe next year. Next year.
At work, we have our infamous Turkey Bowl that Big Tiz did participate in. However, because of this game, he only played half the game.
Exactly.
It affected his selection process. So, unfortunately, Big Tiz, you still have time to be selected. But the 3 selections are pretty good. And we all know Johnny Football Manziel from Texas A&M.
Wow.
Nationally recruited from high school. He's got over 15 awards and accolades. Nicknamed Johnny Football by fans and friends. And we all know Texas A&M is going to play Oklahoma in the Cotton Bowl this year. That's one of the finals. We got 3 finalists, okay?
That's incredible with this guy being a freshman as well.
I mean, you see this guy play this year?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his games, and I mean, outstanding for a guy just coming into, stepping up from high school to college ball and with the things he's doing. And hopefully, if he gets a chance, he can make that same progression into the NFL.
Freshman. Do you think this is a fluke, Big Tiz? Do you think he's just naturally this good?
Well, like I said, we'll see. I mean, because once you go from one level to the other, I mean, sometimes you struggle a little, but maybe, maybe he's that one. Maybe he's that next Brady.
Hey, number 2, Manti Te'o, linebacker, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Okay. So what makes this guy so special? Not only is he a beast on the field,
right,
but he's won every linebacker award you can possibly think of, especially the Dick Butkus Award.
Wow!
You win that says it all right there. That looks great on a resume. Let me tell you, what makes this so special is that if he wins his Heisman Trophy, he is going to be the only college player in college football history to win the Heisman all defense.
Wow.
Now, we had guys, special teams, wide receivers, always a running back, and always a quarterback. Mm-hmm. The quarterback always gets the girl, always gets the high paycheck, always gets the Heisman most of the time. And a little info on him this year, 7 interceptions for a linebacker, 103 solo tackles. Ooh. And like I said, he won the Dick Butkus Award, and the Irish are going to play Alabama in the BCS National Championship January 7th in Miami. So let's hear your votes. What do you think? Roll Tide or the Fighting Irish? What do you say, Big Tiz? Come on.
No, I'm going for the Irish.
You going for the Irish?
Going for the Irish.
I'm going to go for the Irish too, but I don't think that they can stop that high-powered run from Alabama.
Yeah, Alabama's known for that. They churn out a lot of backs and a lot of good linemen out into the NFL.
This is going to be the test for that stingy Notre Dame defense. And third, to round off the list, the reason why I put him third was because I already talked about the first 2, but it doesn't seem to me that listening to this guy speak that he really wants this trophy. He repeatedly says that how great it is an honor, which it is,
right,
to be nominated, but that's about as far as he goes.
Right.
Now, little stats on this guy. It's Colin Klein from Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
All right. He would be Kansas State's first Heisman Trophy winner. And unlike Manziel, Klein is a multi-talented quarterback.
Right.
It looks like Johnny Football runs for his life and he throws it. He's 6'5", 226 pounds. He's a senior, and he likes to run the ball. Now, don't get mixed up with a running quarterback. He is not a running quarterback. What I'm saying is he's not afraid to run with the ball. He won't throw the ball away. He'll run. And with 22 touchdowns on the ground and only 15 in the air, I would say he's a running quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
He's big, he's tough, he's hard to get down like Ben Roethlisberger.
Right.
So those are 3 candidates. Folks, at home, dial up, let us know what you think. Who do you think is going to be the Heisman Trophy winner this year? I'm going to go, my bet, I'm going for Manti Te'o. I'm pushing hard for him. Notre Dame, didn't think they'd go undefeated this year. A lot of critics out there talking about the head coach.
Right.
I think this is going to lift Notre Dame into next year. And I think Notre Dame is one of the top 3 teams of collegiate football now and for the future because these kids are young.
Exactly. And like Big O said, check us out. Chime in. Give us your feedback. Check out our website, www.stillanationlive.net. And you can also go to stillanationlive.com. They'll both take you to the same site. And once you're there, check out video feeds. Our audio feeds are on there as well. And you can also go to talkshoe.com. And if you don't get there, you can hear our broadcast there as well. And also, if you want to chime in live when you go on talkshoe.com or call in, that's 724-444-7444. Caller ID number 115243. Hit the pound key. Then you hit 1 in pound. If you're a guest, and you're in.
That's right. And while we're talking about it, all this food, McGinney's Sports Pub, 2246 East River Road, Henrietta, Rochester, New York. Folks, if you want some good food tonight, tomorrow, the day after, listen to me now, remember me next Tuesday. This is the place to be if you're in Rochester, or if you're coming to visit Rochester. The food is phenomenal. I mean, it's like you have over 20 flat screen TVs in this place. You have bar food, you have sit-down restaurant food. From chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, to chicken parm and veal parm, whatever you want, this place is it. And Sal, the owner, great guy.
Oh, yeah.
Great guy.
You got to go there.
Chicken wings, too. If you like chicken wings, come down to McGinney's.
Hey, we're going to also delve into some other NFL news. And some of the other NFL news out there is the death of the Rooney's daughter. Unbelievable. Rita Rooney.
Rita Rooney. It's sad that she died at the age of 54, Big Tiz. And just a little stuff on. We want everybody to know who. If you didn't know Rita Rooney, she was in the public eye in the city of Pittsburgh, city of Boston.
Right.
She did a lot for her community, her family, the team. And just a little bit. She is the daughter of Steelers owner and U.S. ambassador to Ireland, Dan Rooney, and she passed away at the too young age of 54. She spent most of her time as a director of the Faith Foundation at St. Elizabeth Parish in Milton, outside of Boston. So, folks, if you're around there, if you know what I'm talking about, I hear it's a great place. I'm really not that big of a fan of Boston, being a Yankee fan. But however, you know what? She taught religious education as a volunteer for many years to children preparing to be confirmed. And if you're Catholic, or if you I don't want to offend anybody's religion, but she was huge in the Catholic religion. She wanted to raise the children Catholic. She wanted to help out any way she could. She was a very creative, gentle woman. She's the kind of woman that everybody loves you.
Right.
Everybody loved her. And like I said, because too very sad. She passed away too young. She was survived by her father and mother, her son Alexander, sisters Patricia, Mary, and Joan, and her brothers Art, James, John, and Dan. And here at Steeler Nation Live, we want to give our deepest sympathy and condolences to the Rooney family, to the Steeler family, to the Boston area, to the Faith Foundation and St. Elizabeth Parish in Boston. We just want to give a moment of silence for the Rooney family, and just very, very sad, very sad. And you know what? There's a lot of sadness going on over the weekend, Big Tiz. And if you want to start on that.
Yeah, well, the one thing I wanted to start off with is the death and the passing of Belcher, the linebacker. Devon Belcher, the linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. And this was a sad situation. He signed with the Chiefs in 2009 as an undrafted free agent out of the University of Maine. And the thing about that, he played defensive end, there and because of his size, he was transferred and transpositioned over to a linebacker at 6'2", 215 pounds. And it was a sad thing to see what happened to Belcher over the weekend, and the whole situation. I'm going to let Big O touch base on what happened in that situation as well. And as you have heard probably from news reports and things over the wire, what happened in that situation. And it was a sad situation to see. A lot of people were affected by it. So I'm going to let Big O tell you a little bit about what happened in that if you didn't hear about it.
Oh, yeah. And what happened was, according to reports, that Javon went out Friday night, went clubbing, went to concert, came home. The police found him passed out, drunk in front of a woman's apartment. The police woke him up, asked him what he was doing there. He couldn't remember what happened. Made a few phone calls, went into the apartment. Later on that morning, he ends up at his girlfriend's house where his mother lives. An argument ensued, gunshots. He left the place where his estranged girlfriend was with their 3-month-old baby and her mother. And he drove to the Kansas City Chiefs facility.
Right.
Now, on his way to the facility, he called Coach Grinnell. He called the general manager. He called the owner, and he let them know that he was on his way, and I guess what his intentions were. So they all met out in the parking lot, and, long story short, this coward took his life, and I do call him a coward. I don't care, because that's what he is. And he took his life in front of a bunch of people. Now they have to live with this.
Right. A lot of them
for the rest of their lives.
Head coaches and other individuals who were out there at that time as they watched and witnessed what happened with Belcher. And the reason I said it was a sad situation is because also, in fact, that his girlfriend was killed in this as well. He killed her. And leaving their young daughter with, no parents at all. And that's a very, very sad situation, to see this. And I did hear on the news this morning, actually, that they said that their young daughter, and I didn't catch her name, but their young daughter will be taken care of because, from the different payouts and different things that come from the annuities from the NFL and different things like that. And also, big ups to some of the players of the Kansas City Chiefs who said that they would try to put money aside for his daughter.
Yeah, I mean, monetarily, she'll be taken care of. But you know what? You can't. Well, I guess you could hug money. I do sometimes, and I get some. I really love money. But you know what? When you want that to help to ride the bike down the street, or you're getting ready for your father-daughter dance, there's a lot of stuff that these people take in. They just don't. I don't know. This has got me all emotional because, and I apologize, but he shot her in the back.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty bad.
And left her to die.
There's like you said, there's a lot of things that money just can't cover.
Right.
And this is just one of them. And also out of this, Jamal Charles, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs, is going to actually pay the funeral expenses for Belcher, and I believe that they're related by. Somewhat by, I guess, by marriage or something like that. Or I don't know if Jamal Charles' wife or girlfriend is related to his girlfriend. So, I mean, that's how that plays out. But he said he's going to pay the funeral expenses for Belcher. So, big ups to Jamal Charles. And, I don't know, it's just a sad thing to happen. And we also had a lot of things, because he's an NFL player, you hear about it, but the things you don't hear about it is in Cleveland.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure nobody's heard about this one. A member of the Cleveland Browns grounds crew also committed suicide in a Cleveland football practice facility the same day. I guess it wasn't as exciting as a murder-suicide. However, I mean, very unfortunate incidents happened for the NFL over the weekend.
Right.
And usually we're talking about money, we're talking about contracts and stuff like that, but how often do you talk about when you're referring to like a league as prestigious as the NFL or the National Hockey League, or that you talk about murder-suicides, you talk about suicides? I mean, granted, we all have problems. Some people handle them different. And from what the word was going on, that Belcher was experiencing money problems. The Chiefs organization was providing free counseling and I guess it just wasn't working out. And we'll get talking about this later with Bob Costas, what he said. We all know he's a great journalist, sports analyst, whatever you want to call it, but sometimes we make mistakes and sometimes we open up our mouth and say the wrong thing. I'm pretty sure once in a while me and Tiz might say something you won't agree with, and we're going to get some negative feedback, but you know what? It happens. But what he said is ridiculous, and I'm going to touch base on that in my final thoughts later in the show. But basically, what he said was if Javon didn't own a gun, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But we'll get back to that later in the show.
Exactly. You know what? Like I said, also, what we want to do is, we're getting off that subject right now. We want to jump to our news and updates. Actually, we're going to give out some of the scores that happened over the weekend in the NFL.
Absolutely. Let's get that ball rolling, Big Tiz. All right, here's the football. Don't stare at it too much, Big Tiz, because you know what? You might pass out. You might get dizzy. So we're gonna start off with last Thursday night. Falcons 23, Saints 13. Packers 23, Vikings 14. The Jets, remarkable, amazing come-from-behind victory over the Cardinals, 7-6, and that was with their third-string quarterback as well, McElroy, I guess. Yes, 7-6. Luck be a Colt tonight, as Frank Sinatra would put it. Last-second TD as the Colts come back to defeat the Lions in the Lion Den, 35-33. The Chiefs win an emotional game at home. Well, any win for a Chief is emotional. 27-21 over the Panthers. The blacked-out Bills win a game, but no one could watch it except a dozen of fans who braved the Buffalo Cold as they beat the Jaguars 34-18.
Good game for the Bills, though.
Oh, that win's a good win. The Rams in free football defeat the 49ers 16-13 in overtime. And Kaepernick, the GOAT, and we're going to talk about that later in Hot Topic, should injured players return back to their starting positions and relieve the guys who relieve them. The Houston Texans continue to tear up the NFL and the AFC, 24-10 over the Titans. The Seahawks on the road with some more free football, defeating the host Bears 23-17. Bears never touched the ball in overtime. Patriots continue to win 24-16 over the Dolphins. The Broncos hold off the Buccaneers in a late rally, 31-23. The Browns continue to win over the Raiders, 20-17. And if you watched last night, Monday Night Football, it was a great game. The Redskins and RG3 defeat the New York Football Giants, 17-16 in the nation's capital. And Thursday night, Raiders host the Broncos. For some Thursday night football, folks. We got it. Football for ya.
Exactly. Like I said, there were a lot of things that were going on in the NFL. As you can see, a lot of things happened over the weekend, and with some of the passings of Rita Rooney and Belcher, basically committing suicide, and the other suicide out there in Cleveland that no one ever really heard about. But there are a lot of things that happened there, and people just have to, I guess, keep their heads on tight. You know what? There's a lot of things that's going on in the NFL. And we, the fans, we have to support these guys so they'll see that we're there and recognize that we're there for them.
Right. While we're on the topic of disasters, we still have one in New York. And how long is this guy going to have a job? Is he trying to get fired?
Oh, yeah.
Is he trying to get fired?
Rex Ryan. You have to wonder there. We have a photo of Rex Ryan up there on the board. If you can't see, if you're on the audio side or the phone side, we have a picture of Rex Ryan up there, and a lot of the questions out there, and a lot of people are wondering how long will Rex Ryan still be a Jet? Maybe him and Sanchez might have worn out their welcome by now.
Right. We thought we saw the last of Sanchez when he got benched, but guess what, folks? For you Jet fans, if you admit that you're a Jet fan, you lose everything left and right, and now you're getting Sanchez back. What do you think about that, folks? Call in, chime in, message us, let us know what you think. We're in New York, so we should have some New York Jet fans on the line somewhere. Let us know what you're feeling. I think Sanchez should be benched. I mean,
yeah, it's getting to that direction. So Like I said, with him being benched, we don't know how long Rex Ryan is. He's got to go himself. He might be right behind him.
Oh, boy. But it looks like he's trying to get fired. There's just put one of them naked suits on and run across the field during a game. That would be a lot quicker.
Hey, guys.
What's going on now?
What's going to happen now, we're going to go to a commercial. When we come back from a commercial, we're going to get right into our Steeler news and updates. So when we be back on Steeler Nation Live, we'll hit you right with it.
Join Big O, Big T every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. New Year's only in-depth analysis of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Black and gold. Game review. Game. Injury report. Injury releases. Who got fired? Fantasy stats. Fantasy football. Rumor. Anything and everything you want to know about the black and gold. SteelerNationLive.net.
Uniform Express, located on 1408 Buffalo Road, Rochester, New York, for your police, fire, or EMS supplies. One of Rochester's top and finest suppliers of shirts, pants, shoes, boots, and accessories for your professional uniform needs. Uniform Express also does embroidery and screen print for team uniforms, jerseys, and corporations. Hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can also go to their website at www.uniformexpress.com or call Brian at 585-529-4245. That's 585-529-4245. And let Brian know you heard his ad on our show, Steeler Nation Live.
Hey guys, welcome back. Steeler Nation Live, Big Tiz, Big O. And you know what? We were going to go to Steeler Nation news updates, but you know what? We got the vulnerable one, Johnny B, on the line.
Johnny B!
And Johnny B is going to come in and give you guys a lot more of his fantasy updates. And, you know, Johnny B, you got hit hard just as much as me and Big O did. How did you feel about that big upset win you guys had to Windy City?
Yeah, Chicago. It's a great upset in overtime.
Game against the Chicago Bears. I'm going to tell you, I was surfing the web today. I saw Russell Wilson was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. This kid deserves it. He's starting to believe in himself, and he's not looking like a rookie anymore. The guy's got a 122.0 passer rating at home this season.
Wow.
He looks phenomenal. On the record at home, you're absolutely right. I looked at the remaining schedule for the Seahawks. They got the Cards this week. They have no quarterback over there. Am I looking for a victory at home against the Cards? You bet I am. Then they play the Bills in Toronto.
Oh, boy.
2 weeks. I'm hoping they can squeeze one out right there. But then comes that 49er game. That's going to be a tough game. And then they end the season against the Rams.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Would I
tough one,
like to
John.
be 500? No. 3-1 with a 10-6 record and go into the playoffs, that would be the best.
Oh, you got that right, Johnny B.
Hey, but Johnny, you know, with it being playoff time and everything like that, give us some of your studs out there, them hard hitters.
All right, fantasy football playoffs. This is exciting stuff. I love it. And my first fella that I'm picking is Nate Washington right off the board. With the
Wow,
Titans
Nate
going to the
Washington?
Colts. I love that Colts turf out there. Inside on that turf, I think Nate Washington is going to tear it up with Jake Locker at quarterback. My second stud, he looks fantastic, this Bryce Brown from the Eagles. He's auditioning for a starting job there. You know that they'll probably have a new coach next year, so I think he's going to get his against that Tampa Bay defense. My next guy, he looks solid, this guy. I mean, RG3 said he should be Rookie of the Year, and that guy in the skins is Alfred Morris. He's going against a tough Raven defense, but Big Al's going to get his. And good luck in the playoffs.
Wow, I'm telling you, a couple Redskins in there, Johnny. You know what I remember when the Steelers played the Redskins. RG3 had 6 carries, 8 yards rushing. You know, dud. He's a dud. But you know, while we're talking about duds, Johnny, what do you got for the duds?
My first playoff dud is Brian Hartline. The guy's having a great year this year, but some games he gets his, and the Bone Best gets his. It's either Hartline or Best. And with the Dolphins going to the 49ers, I believe the 49ers are going to lock down Brian Hartline this week and break some hearts out there in fantasy football land. My second guy is Steve Smith. You get the Falcons playing them, and I think they're going to lock down Steve Smith because they're going to lock down Cam Newton. The The Falcons are for real. They've only lost one time this year, and I think they soundly beat the Panthers 21-3, and they don't even get on the board with a touchdown.
Wow.
My third stud is James Starks with the Lions playing the Packers, and the Packers are just an all-out passing team. They don't even like to run. Every time they go back to the huddle, the Aaron Rodgers is calling a pass play. There's no doubt about it. James Starks, sit him this week. He is a dud.
Wow, Johnny. Now, we all know that, you got your studs, your duds, your sleepers. Even though you're in the playoffs, sleepers. What do you think about your sleepers, Johnny?
Sleepers got to be there, Johnny.
All right. I don't want to sound like a homer on this one, but I love Golden Tate this week going against the Cards. It looks like every time Russell Wilson goes back to pass, he's looking for Golden Tate. And if you saw the Bears game last week, it looked like Sidney Rice got his head knocked off on the last play of the game. So I think he's going to be looking for Golden Tate this week. My other little guy's been hurt all season. I love this guy, Darren Sproles. It looks like he's getting healthy. I've been hearing on the website that he's ready to go against the Giants this week. And I look for Darren Sproles to get those little scat back passes out of the backfield and maybe even break one and bring it to the house. So Darren Sproles and Golden Tate are my sleepers this week.
Wow, Johnny, that's awesome. You know what? We really appreciate you taking time out of your family and and just all your hard work you do flying over the country and giving us your time when you're on all those other sports networks. And we appreciate you taking your time on Little Steeler Nation Live, Big Johnny. We really appreciate you.
Yeah, we do. Thanks a lot, John. You're the man, brother.
Yeah, buddy.
I wish we had more on there like yourself.
Yeah. You still there? Or you hang up on us?
Guys,
there he
thanks
is.
again for having me. Have a good week, and God bless.
I love you, Johnny. You're the best. God bless you, too, pal. All right. That was Johnny B's Fantasy. Wow.
Hey, you know what, guys? Johnny B, like I said, he always gives the updates, gives you guys things to do and things to think about. You know what? And actually, we're going to go to the phone lines, too, because we got some guys on the phone, and we're going to just get some feedback on some of the things that's going around the NFL and see how this caller feels about it. Let's see if I can get him on. Hey, caller, how you doing? Welcome to Steeler Nation Live. Big Tiz, Big O. How things been going with you?
Hey, Big Tiz, Big O. How's everything going?
Yeah, we're doing good. How you doing, sir? Hey, just to let you know, this is a family show, so if you're new to this, calling up to the show, please refrain from any F-bombs, A-bombs, B-bombs, or any kind of bombs.
No problem. I just wanted to give you guys a big shout out there. You guys just do a great job.
We appreciate it, caller. Where are you calling from?
Rochester, New York. And I had a question for Big Tiz.
Big Tiz. Oh, singled out.
All right, lay it on me, brother.
Okay, Big Tiz. I got to admit, I think you have great stats. You come down with just awesome information for this show. And, you guys nail this stuff spot on. But I got one big question for you, brother.
There it comes. He's married. He's married, buddy.
My big question for you, brother, is how with all of this knowledge are you 2-11 in your fantasy league?
Oh no!
I love it. You know what? Sometimes with all this information and being 2-11, sometimes we think we know what we know, and it ends up in the end that we don't. And as you can see from my 2-11 record, that I don't pay attention well. And if I did, you know what? As like I said, we just had Johnny B's Fantasy on. Then I'd be up there in the realm with the winners. But you know what? As always, I'm sitting back because of my ignorance, watching the other guys get the titles.
Well, don't forget now, Johnny B just started coming on to the show not too long ago, and you were winless at one point. So
that's true.
So, we want to thank you, caller, for calling in and pointing out to the world that Tiz has no knowledge of fantasy football. That's fantastic.
Hey, get some Steelers on that team, Tiz.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's one thing you're right about, too. I got to get them off. Hey, but, we appreciate it. And you know what? My 2-11 record might get up to about maybe like an 8-4 record or 8-5 record next year.
Oh, boy. Well, that's good optimism. Well, thank you, caller, for calling. You have a great night. And check out our Facebook. Check out our email addresses, bigo1933steelers@yahoo.com. And you can check us out on Facebook and www.steelernationlive.net. Thanks, caller.
All right.
And folks, also I want to give a huge shout out to all our Facebook followers out there. I'm not going to mention any names specifically because I do not want to leave somebody out and offend anybody. So if you check us out on Facebook, and hey, thanks for checking us out. I hope you're enjoying the show. You know who you are because you're our Facebook friends. So, like I said, I would love to name you personally, but however, I don't want to leave anybody out, and I'm pretty sure Big Tiz don't. So thank you guys for following us. Right now we have over 4,000 followers following SteelerNationLive.net. So you should be proud, and we feel special that we have all these people watching us, and we want to give you the best and most accurate information out there when it comes to the Steelers and a little of the NFL stuff. Right, Big Tiz?
You got it. You know what, Big O? Let's step into the realm of the Steeler updates and what's going on in Steelerland.
Oh, boy. Big victory over them Rapids. Oh, man. Steeler news and updates. I love it. You know what? We talked about this earlier, Big Tiz. Charlie Batch stepped up when he had to.
Yeah, he did.
That's what a true veteran does. You know, you can't expect too much from a guy at his age and coming into a situation like he did and perform well. However, when you wear the black and gold, that's what we expect every game. We don't care who you are, how old you are. When you take that field, you're expected to do well and extremely well. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't happen. So last week, he stepped up to the challenge, Big Tiz.
Yeah, he did. And I got to give Charlie Batch credit. I mean, this guy had everybody against him. Me, Big O.
Me.
I mean,
yeah,
I mean,
you got to be honest.
Even you guys who listen, Charlie Batch had the world against him, and he did it. He pulled it off, and he did it. He stayed focused, and I have to give this guy much credit. And I mean, big ups to Charlie Batch. And, well, we're not sure if Charlie Batch will be actually starting next week or not, but right now, the looks of it right now are looking at Big Ben starting. So that's one thing that's going to be eagerly waiting to be known if it is going to be a true fact or not in Steelerland.
And also, Big Tiz, we don't want to leave out Jonathan Dwyer. He will also be the starting running back this week and looks like from the rest of the season. Unfortunate bad news from Rashard Mendenhall. Do not expect him in a Steeler jersey next year. Rashard, if you're listening to this, I apologize. You're hearing it from Steeler Nation Live here in Rochester, New York. But it does not look like you are going to be here next year. And with the draft picks, with the guys we have on the practice squad, it just doesn't seem like your heart's in it. Your mind's not in it. And this year is the end of your contract. And you know what? Looking back at who we could have drafted other than you, and see where these guys are right now, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But you know what? It's just your heart's not in it. And, you know, unfortunately, you have to go.
Exactly. Well, the Steelers, they're looking right now, just to let everybody know, they're with a 7-5 record. The Steelers are still in the playoff hunt, very much still in it. And right now, presently, I think they own the last playoff spot.
They do. That matchup against the Bengals is going to be huge.
Exactly. But like I said, hopefully the Steelers will take every game, one game at a time, especially with San Diego coming up. And San Diego is realistically not a pushover.
No. Getting back to briefly, we do own the tiebreaker between us and Cincinnati.
Right.
So
right.
even if we lose to Cincinnati, we still own that tiebreaker. But you know what? That's not even our vocabulary, because the 4 games remaining are all winnable. Every game is winnable.
Right.
But these are, if you're a gambling man, these are the teams you put the money on. Unfortunately, a couple of those games are going to be against, you know, below 500 teams.
Right.
Like the Chargers. Okay. And we all know what happens when we play teams like that. Let's see, Oakland Raiders, Tennessee Titans.
There you go.
Kansas City Chiefs.
Cleveland Browns.
Yes. Oh, come on, folks. Really. I mean, we just. But we'll get later on in the show. We're going to talk about, you know, our pre-game view of the Steelers Charger game. So right now we just gotta go back and talk right now about the present, the show.
Exactly. And actually, we got to give the game ball to Heath Miller. Heath Miller came out there. I said so many shows before, this is the man who should have all the yards.
5 catches, 97 yards, Big Tiz, and that acrobatic TD.
Exactly.
He must have been watching Mike Wallace.
or maybe Mike Wallace need to be watching Mike Wallace.
Oh yeah, but you know what? It's Charlie Batch was a close, super close second.
Right.
And that's because he could have folded, he could have gave in. You know, he could have tried too hard, and you know what happens when you try too hard, you make more mistakes, and that's not what happened. So if there was another game ball, we'd have to give it to Charlie Batch, but unfortunately, there's only one game ball, so Charlie did a great job. I had my doubts.
Exactly.
And,
He did.
I'm not apologizing. I won't apologize, Big Tiz, because everybody out there wearing black and gold, they knew what the situation was, considering all the aspects and everything gathered, all pointed to wasn't going to be a pretty show. But you know what? Charlie Batch stepped up and proved himself, and for that, I'm not sorry.
Exactly. Well, Big O, let's get some of the stats from that game, the Steelers versus the Ravens. I mean, like I said, it was another usual Steeler-Ravens game, 23-20, and the fact of the other game being a 13-10 game, and that's usual Steeler-Raven games, 10-10, 10-3. This one was kind of high scoring, but you know what? I mean, it was low scoring in the fact that each score really came in different quarters, you know. I mean, but low scores.
Oh, absolutely, Big Tiz, and we don't want to leave out Troy Polamalu. He did play on a limited basis, but when he did play, he did good. And like you said earlier, I winced a whole bunch of times too. Every time he tackled somebody, every time he moved, is that going to be the last play? And unfortunately, if Ben starts Sunday, that's what we're going to be looking at as well. Hopefully, the O-line will step up, and he'll have a clean jersey at the end of the game if he does play. But it just, we lived through it last year. We talked about it over and over again. Is he coming back too soon?
Exactly.
I mean, it is against San Diego, and you don't want to play these teams lightly. But I don't know. I think Charlie Batch should have one more try.
Yeah, I agree with that. And some of the game stats, the total yards for the Steelers of 366 yards was pretty decent against a Raven team, who had 288 yards against a depleted Steeler team. And I mean, the Steelers put that up on offense with Charlie Batch at quarterback against the vaunted Raven defense.
Yeah, usually, turnovers and penalties kill you. But on this night, the Ravens had more penalties than the Steelers, which surprised me. Playing in Baltimore, 8 penalties for 70 yards to Pittsburgh's 4 for 50. And turnovers, we can't put the ball on the ground. We turned the ball over 3 times. Ravens turned over twice, and that last turnover was the game changer with Harrison forcing that fumble.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And Ziggy Hood recovered it. I mean, they don't get that fumble, game over.
They almost had another one late in the game. I don't know if you guys caught it, where Foot came around the outside and almost got him before he got it off. But you know what? That shows that the Steelers now, they're starting to get into that gel, and they're starting to get that pressure.
And this is the right time of the year to do it.
Exactly.
We got the momentum going behind us. Time of possession was huge. Almost 35 minutes for the Steelers to 25 to the Ravens.
Wow.
You control the clock, you control the ball, you control the game. We talk about this every show we do. And that last drive, almost 7 minutes off the clock. That was the game right there. This is what usually happens to Pittsburgh as of late. We bust butt, we tie up the score, the other team gets the ball, and they control the clock.
Exactly.
And then when it's tick, 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 seconds off the clock, kick a game-winning field goal, we lose. But this time it was us. We were the ones kicking it, and we were the ones coming out as victors. And it just I'm so proud of the Steelers by going in to that territory and beating them dirty birds.
Exactly, with a depleted team on top of that.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, the defense, 3 sacks, interception, fumble, and Charlie Batch, he hit the turf a couple times. They sacked him twice, intercepted him twice, and that one fumble, which I believe, I'm telling you, Big Tiz, that was not a fumble. He never had control of the ball. I don't care. He was switching hands, whatnot. How many receivers do you know switch hands after they catch the ball?
You mean the pass was Sanders caught going across the middle?
Yep.
And that to me myself, I might have to disagree with you on that one. I think he did take a couple steps and made a move, but you know what? I mean,
he made the move. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. He took the steps. He made the move, and I don't think he had control of the ball. I don't think he had control whatsoever.
Charlie Batchy, I mean, he had a decent day there against the Ravens. 25-36, 276 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. Decent numbers against a defense that was actually salivating to get to him. And Dwyer, decent day running. I mean, it wasn't a lot of yards, 16 carries for 49 yards and 1 touchdown. But the thing was, each yard he picked up, some of that 49 was that touchdown, touchdown run. Granted, 78 yards, but 78 yards for the Steelers against the Ravens is huge.
Now, fantasy-wise, that's 11 points if you had him starting for your team. But and let's look at the defensive side of the ball. Flacco held Flacco to under 200 yards again. Unfortunately, he did have that 1 TD, and that was what, 30 yards, 40 yards?
30 yards, I believe. 28, 30 yards.
You take that away, he's 150 yards passing. He had that 1 interception, lost a fumble. Ray Rice, 78 yards. Okay? That's why we are the _1 defense in the NFL. Can't pass, can't run. Bolden did have a pretty decent day, 5 catches for 81 yards and one TD. But you know what? When you play your division rivals, it's always going to be a tough, close game. I'm surprised they scored as many points as they did.
Right. I am too, actually.
I think I predicted 24-10 Steelers. I think I predicted that last week, so not too far off with that one, Big Tiz.
Wow. And as always, like after every game, the Steelers go over their injury report. And right now, the injury report for the Steelers it's still kind of long, but you know what? Like I said, they're healing actually, so the list is getting short. And we want to start off just letting you guys know with Mike Adams still out with the ankle, and I'm believing he's going to be out for a while. And as you can see with Antonio Brown, also with the ankle, probable for the next game. But Antonio Brown, he looks healthy and he looks like he's getting back to his old ways. So that's very comforting to know. Willie Colon, knee questionable.
Yeah.
What do you think on that?
I don't know. It's just another offensive lineman just injured. Cotchery, ribs questionable. I thought he was supposed to be out for the rest of the year. So I think he's trying to fight for his job, knowing that Plaxico Burress is back. Casey Hampton, he was sick. He played sick, and he's still sick.
Right.
So he's probable for Sunday. We all know Leftwich. He's taking that short bus with Mendenhall out of Pittsburgh. Sorry, guys, you're done.
Palomano's he still has the calf issue, but like I said, he was out there. He played. He looked decent, but. Let's hope this thing continues, and if he needs to play even a half of a game, I think a half of Palomalo is even better
than no Palomalo.
Right.
That's true. Let's see. The Roethlisberger we all know. According to Mike Tomlin, he practiced well yesterday, extremely well today. I think was the words he used. Look for Ben to play Sunday, and Big Tiz, I'm against it, but I'm not against it. We have a better chance of us winning with him in there, but by beating the Chargers and losing him for the rest of the season, is it worth it?
Exactly.
Max Starks, he's still working on that back injury. Lamar Woodley, he is out. He will not be playing. If he does, it'll, game time decision, but I have him listed as out. And let's see who else we got there.
Ike Taylor with the leg issue.
Fractured femur, broken leg. Let's all call it what it is. And Will Johnson out with a concussion, and we have this Cortez Allen stepping up and doing the job. Coming off the bench and playing great out there. That's got burned once, but you know what? It's better than getting burned 3-4 times like some people we know.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Boy.
But you know what, guys? What we're going to do now is we're going to go to commercial. When we come back, we're going to come back with a hot topic for the night. And our hot topic is, should injured players get their starting job or starting position back when they return automatically? That's one to think on and marinate on. Like I said, you love marinate.
I had some grilled chicken.
We'll talk about it when we go back to Steeler Nation Live.
All right.
It's Spaghetti Sports Pub, located at 2246 East River Road. A perfect blend of Irish charm and Italian cuisine. From Calabria favorites like calamari to chicken French to the new signature dish like the Steel City Deli.
The Rothless Burger.
Everything is delicious and prepared fresh for you. They offer a full lineup of your favorite beverages with drink specials daily, and don't forget their $5 Monster Bomb.
Ice cold beer.
All day, every day. With 2 floors of seating and 20 high-def televisions, there's not a bad seat in the house to catch every minute of the NFL action.
Watch what you want.
McGinnis is the official home of the Rochester Steelers fan club.
Steelers!
So come on down to McGinnis Sports Pub, 2246 East River Road in Henrietta.
At Grease Lightning, we offer fast automotive service, specializing in oil changes and auto repairs. We offer a convenient yet comprehensive maintenance and repair service, fast and no appointment necessary. At Grease Lightning, we offer the best prices on top name brands. We get you in, out, and on your way, just like Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning is locally owned and operated, so come on down to 2061 Charlie Avenue here in Rochester and talk to Charles because he's in charge. You can also call Charles at 585-563-7939 or go to our website at mygreaselightning.com.
Hey, welcome.
How's your car, Big Tiz? You need some work done on it?
Yeah, maybe.
Grease Lightning, Charlie Avenue, Rochester, New York. Go see Charles.
Hey, Big O, you know what? So let's step right into our hot topic for the night. Let me ask you guys, should an injured player get their starting job back when they return from being injured? And when I say that, let's start off with one that's really noticeable out there is Michael Vick. Michael Vick went on his job with a concussion, and actually he's still out with the concussion because he's still having the concussion symptoms still. And Nick Foles, I believe that's his name, is stepped in to do it for Philly. You know, I mean, he hasn't won a lot of games, but as you can see, this guy has the tools to do it. And that's a good example right there. Should Mike get his job back, or should Foles stay in the position?
I think Mike should get his job back. I mean, granted they weren't winning every game, but you know what? He's a starting quarterback for a reason.
I agree with that in a sense, but I do believe that just like anything else, sometimes you have to show a little zest for your position, not to just think you own it just because of who you are and your name and what you did back then, but just like, you know, what have you done for me lately? That's the key.
Well, that's true, but you know what? He has stepped up, and you know, like I said, they haven't won every game with him, but you know, they were always in the game, and I think he started for a reason.
Right.
Let's not forget the fact he started for a reason. He just didn't, you know, jump on the field and say, "Hey, look, I'm quarterback. Look at me, I'm playing." You know, he's out there because he is the starting quarterback. And what's the other quarterback from San Francisco? What's his name again?
Smith. Alex Smith. Right now, you know, he went out for injury, and his replacement, Kaepernick. Kaepernick is in there for the 49ers, and he's actually doing it for the 49ers. I mean, he's coming up with some big plays here and there. Actually, he did just have a rough game, but is that rough game, you know, is it something that's going to continue for him, or do you put Alex Smith in, who to me is more or less like a game manager, but I would figure that's why you got this young guy, Kaepernick, to see if you can bring him to that next level.
Here's my take on this. And folks, call in, you know, message in, let us know what your opinion is. You're starting for a reason. You weren't benched because of your bad play. You weren't benched at all. You were on the sideline because you're hurt. You can't help it. Whether it's concussion, broken arm, broken ribs, or whatnot. You heal, you need to go back in that position. And the reason why there's backups, that's the main reason you have a backup. You don't have a backup to see when is my chance to take over this job. Your backup is to back up the person who is hurt. So when they come back, they retain their job. The purpose of a backup is to keep the team going in one direction in a smooth motion. It's not for, hey, that's what training camp is for. And if you didn't get the starting spot after training camp, hey, you're a backup. When the starter goes down, you play. And that's it. Starter comes back, you need to come back and play.
Very interesting. Interesting. Well, let's look at it in another instance. Ben Roethlisberger, out hurt, and you know his replacements came in, and in that situation with Ben Roethlisberger, you know his replacements haven't done enough to overcome, you know, the legend of Roethlisberger and the things Roethlisberger has done for the Steelers. But if there was somebody that came in there and done it and had the Steelers on a 3-0 tear, and I mean was putting up some big numbers, would that make you think about it?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, it would. Because if somebody came in and did the job that Ben was doing, that's beautiful. Because that way Ben could sit down and heal a little bit longer. But that's not the case here. I mean, you could only use duct tape, spit, chewing gum, and shoelaces for so long to keep this team together. And Charlie Batch didn't do it in Cleveland, but when the going got tough,
right,
tough got going. And he stepped it up for against the Ravens. And does he still have gas in his tank? I don't know. Yeah. It sucks that you have to think about these situations. Do we put Ben in because maybe Charlie had one great game, he has nothing left? You put Ben in, he gets hurt, he's done for the season. Bats back in, playoffs are done too. I mean, if you want to pay me the money to make those decisions, I would gladly do so. So if the Rooney family, if you're paying attention, you see this, Big Tiz and I are looking for some good paychecks here, and we'd be more than happy to run the show if you would like us. Give us a shot. Pay us half the money.
Hey,
you never know. We might suck, but I don't think we will.
No,
I don't think so.
Hey, what about one of the other guys out there too? Ike Taylor just went on an injury.
Ooh.
Do you think Ike Taylor? I mean, you bring in a defensive back, which what the Steelers did, and this defensive back is really doing a great job. Do you leave this guy in there? Or do you bring Ike Taylor back because he's back from injury, and you got a guy that's really a shutdown corner? Let me ask you that.
Well, in this situation, I would keep Cortez in until he screws up.
Well, now you don't want to go back.
I put Ike back in until he screwed up, and then I'd just keep on flip-flopping until somebody stepped up and did their job. I'm just saying.
Well, but you have to show some kind of consistency. Now, what you said earlier about with Michael Vick, Alex Smith, and Roethlisberger, bring them back in because they were the starters.
Yeah, because they were doing their job. They didn't, like I said, they weren't sitting the bench because they were doing poorly.
Right.
They were sitting because they were hurting. This guy would have been sitting the bench if he didn't break his leg.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I call like I see it, Big Tiz. Call like I see it.
And just like Big O said, call it like you see it. Call us too, 724-444-7444. Caller ID number 115243. Hit the pound key, and if you're a guest here, 1 in pound. Check out Big Tiz and Big O. Go to the website www.steelernationlive.net. There you can see our our videos, logs, and also our audio. So actually, what we're going to do now, and we want you guys to get that topic right there and let us know how you feel about it. Even go to the website and leave feedback on it too as well. Big O, we got the Chargers coming up next week.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think about that? What do you think are the Steelers' chances of beating the Chargers, and what do you think are some of the things they need to do to put this game to rest early against the Chargers?
Well, Big Tiz, we always like to play these kind of opponents because we have a better chance of winning. Any normal team that plays a team that's below 500 has a great chance of winning. Right. Unfortunately, that's not the Steeler way. We play the good teams great. We play the bad teams poor.
Yep.
And our record shows it. We should be 8-9 and whatever, but we're not. We're 7-4. We could be 9-2, 10-1 maybe. If you take out the Chiefs, the Titans, the Raiders, I don't even want to talk about it. But you know what? The Chargers are coming into this 4-8 and are on a 4-game losing streak. Now, we remember this back early in the season when we thought we caught the Titans on a bad note. They won their first game, lost their last 4. And what happened? We did go to Nashville and we did lose in overtime. But, I mean, they were on a 4-game losing streak too. In fact, it's so bad that the Chargers have lost 7 out of the last 8 games, which is not a good thing that you want to have coming into Pittsburgh to play the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the last time the Chargers beat the Steelers was in 2006. They beat us 23-13, and the Steelers only rushed for, I think, like 68 yards that game. Here's what I see. Look for Dwyer, when he starts, to have a great game. Now, remember, Dwyer is rushing, averaging 4.4 yards a carry. Even though he had 49 yards last game.
Right.
But we were Batch was passing the ball, short passes, Heath Miller ate up a big chunk of those yards, and look to see the defense getting stronger. This is the time of year where they're stepping up, they're gelling. Even with the players coming in and out, they're gelling. And I see the defense creating more turnovers. Expect a lot of fumbles, maybe a couple interceptions, a lot of pressure on Philip Rivers. And on offense, let's flip the side of the ball. I'm looking for more gadget plays. More gadget plays. Just don't give the left-handed wide receiver and have him throw the ball across his body, across the field. You might come up with something. If you're going to roll out, throw on your side, okay? And a lot of short screens. I see if Ben's in there, no huddle. A lot of no huddles, a lot of short passes, a lot of play action. I predict Steelers 24, Chargers 9.
Wow.
Opening drive, here's my prediction as well. If the Chargers get the ball, they'll drive down the field, kick a field goal first. And that's pretty much it, field goals for the rest of the day. That's my prediction on this game. And I do believe that Steelers will take control of this game.
Oh, they have to. You got Cincinnati Bengals breathing down their neck, and they still have a possible chance to take over the division. It's slim, but they have a possible chance. And I'm going to give you my take on what I think is going to be some of my preview for that game. I think the Charger game is going to be a big one. And the Chargers, like I said, they're a nemesis of the Steelers as well. Because the Chargers, they play up to the Steelers level. And like Big O says, we play down to their level. So that's the interesting thing. And the Steelers have to stay there. They have to stay in front of them, play football just like they do, and bring the same game plan which you just brought against the Ravens, that short yardage game plan. Heath Miller, Dwyer. These are the things, hitting Sanders if he's open, and Sanders, please hold on to the ball this time, please. Those type of things. If Steelers have that same game plan and they keep that same game plan, I believe the Steelers should be successful against the Chargers with no issues or any problems at all. And with the return of Ben Roethlisberger, if it is possible at all, the Steelers have to keep that same game plan with Roethlisberger if he comes back, because this will keep him healthy as well. The same game plan they played with Charlie Batch, same with Roethlisberger. Keep that same type of mental attitude they did when Charlie Batch was in for that game. Be up for every game, and the Steelers should have no issues. And I see a score of maybe 24-13.
You give them that much, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
As long as we win, I don't care if it's 24-23.
You're right about that one.
Because when you look at the score, you look at their where they're ranked in the division, and you see wins and losses. You see wins and losses. You don't see, well, they won this game by this much, they lost this game by that. You either win or you lose. Put it up on the left-hand side, because that's the win column. That's what we want to see.
Hey guys, we're going to go to a commercial. When we come back, Big O and I are going to give you our final thoughts for the night when we come after commercial on Steeler Nation Live.
Supreme Limousine. For any special occasion or need, Supreme Limousine will be there for you. Weddings, proms, wine tours, sporting events, bachelor and bachelorette parties, just to name a few. At Supreme Limo, they know how difficult planning a big event can be, so leave your worries behind, because Supreme Limousine will give you peace of mind. Call Rich at 585-425-3711 and set up your special event today. Serving New York and parts of Canada for many years, and through all of New York's worst weather, you will get to where you're going on time and safe. When you need a ride, Supreme Limousine is on your side. So call Rich at 585-425-3711. And at Supreme Limousine, you get supreme service, not a supreme price. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, look no further than Dan Powell. Dan knows that buying or selling a home is one of the most important things you will ever do. Dan wants to make that experience as smooth and successful as possible. Dan's extensive expertise in the real estate market will benefit you whether you're looking to buy or sell a home. Once Dan knows what you want, he will work tirelessly to find the right home for you, because no one should compromise when it comes to such a huge purchase. Whether you're looking for homes for sale, moving resources, or even mortgage information, everything you need is right here with Dan. Dan will always be available for personal service by phone or email, so feel free to contact him with questions at any time. So when buying or selling a home, don't get frustrated or throw in the towel. Just call Dan Powell at 585-704-8324. That's 585-704-8324, or email Dan at dan@rochhomefinder.com. That's Dan at ROCHOMEFINDER.com.
Honey, I just found a great new place to take us out to eat for breakfast. Critics Restaurant, 906 West Main Street, Rochester, New York. Critics is the ultimate in family breakfast dining. And if you're a Steeler fan, hey, you found the right place, Critics Restaurant. Critics Restaurant has been a neighborhood fixture in Rochester, New York for over 40 years. Good food, good fun. Critics Restaurant, 906 West Main Street. Come check us out.
Hey guys. Welcome back. SteelNationLive.net here in Rochester, New York. No snow yet. I haven't done a weather report in a while, Big Tiz.
Hey, unbelievably, it was 60 the other day up here. 60 degrees.
Oh, 70. We had 70. Hit the record.
Wow.
70 in Rochester, New York in December.
Yeah.
How you doing, Florida?
Hey, guys, you know what? We're at the end of our show, but we're going to give you our final thoughts for the night. And I'm Big Tiz, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts for the night, what's going to happen with the Steelers, and also some of my thoughts what's going on this year with the Steelers in this season 2012. Well, you know what? My final thoughts of the Steelers is injuries. And I'm going to put that right at the top. Injuries have kept the Steelers from advancing a lot better than what they could be, starting off with Polamalu. Polamalu has missed so many games for the Steelers, and I'm not sure as to how many years he's got left in the tank. And with the injuries to our other players, Antonio Brown and Ben Roethlisberger, which is becoming to be a regular thing, it's like, how far can the Steelers go, and can this thing continue like this? So I can see the Steelers doing a lot of things in this year's draft, as to probably getting, a quarterback, but not somebody that's substantial up there in the draft, somebody lower in the lower rounds. But the Steelers have to make moves this year, and they do have to do things to bolster the outsides of the defense, which means helping the DBs a little more, and actually maybe looking for a predecessor to Polamalu. I know it's hard to say, but we gotta look for somebody out there, and Ike Taylor as well, because Ike Taylor is getting up there in age, and it looks like these guys will be on their way out. And against the Chargers, let me talk about that game. The Chargers, the Steelers have to stay poised, and they have to stay focused toward this game, because don't let that be that big letdown what you had after that big game against the Ravens, and you come in and you let the Chargers beat you at home. Steelers, stay focused. Keep the line. Stay in the lanes, especially you guys on the special teams. Those lanes have to be filled when you're going down. Don't give up the easy touchdowns. If you stay focused mentally and physically, the Steelers will come out on top. And I believe they could take this to the rest of the season with everybody getting healthy. So I look for the Steelers, hopefully, with the health and everybody maturing and getting healthy, for them to possibly get into the playoff and still possibly, in my mind, take the AFC North.
Oh, absolutely. Big Tiz, and get your fan out, because I'm going to go on a tear here in a minute. But you know what? The thing about the Pittsburgh Steelers, if you notice this season, are always in every game. Always in every game. And right now, Pittsburgh Steelers are in the driver's seat as far as it goes to playoffs. Okay? We're 7-5, and we currently hold the tiebreaker with the Bengals. Now, our last 4 games are very winnable games. All games are winnable, but these games, really, when you look at the term winnable, we should win these games. Like the losses that we have, we should have won those as well.
Right.
With Ben coming back Sunday and playing against the Chargers, it's going to kind of let him ease into the playoffs and get some strength, momentum back, knock off some of that rust. So if he does play, that might be a good thing to get him back into, so he'll be poised to play in the playoffs. And we're going to have to go through Baltimore again. And this time we're going to have Roethlisberger. Dwyer, he loves starting. And like I said earlier, he's been averaging 4.4 yards a carry. We need to get more. We need to get the ball to him more often. And let's not leave out the number 1 defense. Let's put everything together on a daily basis. Special teams has been more special than not. That's got to keep it up. We need to get some returns on those punts and some kicks. Maybe we won't get penalized. Who knows? But if you picture this, folks, like I said earlier, just imagine if Pittsburgh were running on all cylinders. Just say your car was running on half your cylinders. What's going to happen? Nothing. But when you get all your cylinders working in your car, you're going to save on gas, great mileage, it's going to sound good, it's going to run good, it's going to save you a lot of money in the future. Now, here's my rant, Big Tiz, and getting back to that murder-suicide.
Right.
All right. According to columnist Jeffrey Chadiha, okay, Washington Post, he writes, the Chiefs took their first step toward healing in the wake of this tragedy by relying on their team to unify, to preserve, and to win. Win what? What did the family of the girl win? Nothing. They didn't win anything. The lack of sympathy of the Chiefs officials in front office is embarrassing to me. It's embarrassing to the NFL. The game should not have played. Irregardless if they're in a playoff hunt, if they're not in a playoff hunt, which they're not. The records combined, winning records combined, don't even put both teams over 500. It doesn't even factor into this. The murder-suicide happened on Kansas City Chiefs grounds. It happened on their turf. You can't do that and expect to play the next day. Well, I guess the show must go on, and that's how they view it. I guess. I mean, it means nothing but unity. Let's win a ball game, and forget the fact that this little baby has no mommy, no daddy, has no future. I don't care how much money people give to this baby is going to lose. Okay, and Bob Costas cited, if Javon Belcher didn't possess a gun, he and Cassandra Perkins, which is the name of the slain girl, would still be alive today. Let me tell you something, Bob Costas and the rest of the world. Guns don't kill people. People kill people, and they just happen to use guns to do it. In order for a gun to function, folks, you have to hold it, you have to point it, you have to pull the trigger for it to work. If you don't do that, the gun is not going to kill anybody. And let me remind everybody that this handgun was legally owned, legally registered. So it's not like you went off and bought it from some crack dealer. This guy was a legal gun owner. And they don't hand these guns out like candy. You have to go through a certain process, a lengthy process to get this gun. And Bob Costas, you're way off base with that statement you made. You need to apologize. You need to retract it. And let me tell you, it's just horrible. This whole incident, this whole dealing with a murder-suicide is horrible. I think the Chiefs handled it poorly. I think they handled it wrong because it's a game we're dealing with not only Javon and Cassandra's lives being taken away from this earth. We have parents, we have sisters, we have brothers, we have cousins, we have families. And all this is a reminder that these people's lives ended on the day before they played a football game. Woo!
Love it.
Hallelujah. Amen.
Hey, here we go. We got another show in the books on Still a Nation Live. You know what? A lot of heartfelt things went into this show, and a lot of things happened on this show, and all the news coming through in the NFL, like you said, with the Belcher situation and the injuries and the other things going on, even the suicide in Cleveland. There's a lot of things that's going on, and we want to let you guys know that our hearts go out to you guys and to Cleveland, the situations of the Belcher situation and things
Absolutely.
like that. So we want to let you know, no, we're not just out here talking about it. We out here letting you guys know this is sympathy coming from us and deep, hard thoughts. So,
and also the Rooney family as well, with Miss Rita Rooney passing away the same day at the age of 54 rather.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, guys, like I said, we reached another end here on Still Nation Live. So you got another one in the books, and hopefully we'll be back next week with good news from the Charger game. So you've got it from Big Tiz,
Big O,
on Still Nation Live, Rochester, New York.
With the name of the future. And with the name of the future, hey. Yeah. Shout out to Big Tiz, man. And Big O. We're Still a Nation, man. Yeah. Big Tiz. Big O. You know what it is, man. Still a Nation, man. Big O. Yeah. Big O. Every night on Monday night, man. Hey. 7 to 8 on Monday night. Big O. Big Ted, and it's a stump. And it's the nation. Big Ted, Big O, Big Ted, Big O, still a nation. Big Ted, Big O, Big Ted, Big O, still a nation, man. Yeah, and it's a stump. Big O. Yeah, I had to say it was a stump, man. You know, it is a stump, man.